This is CBC Here and Now.
What's different about this one, I think, than a lot of the other ones was that it was already, before it had even begun, was starting to grow into something that would be quite unmanageable and uncontrollable by the people who were at the event.
The RNC steps in.
Why it shut down a teen party before it even started.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Debbie Cooper.
And I'm Anthony Germain. It isn't often that police bust up a party before it even gets going, but that's what happened for a big party that was planned for tonight in St. John's.
Yes, police dubbed the party Project X, and it was threatening to spin out of control, they say. So they sent out an alert and tracked down the event's organizer after social media posts sent up red flags.
Here and Now's Mark Quinn explains.
Police don't usually get involved when someone's planning a party, but they say this one was different. Online there was talk of underage drinking, drugs, and even fights with weapons. Police say they heard reports that there may even be planned sexual assaults.
The information that we had through social media was that there were discussions around assaults of varying natures, as well as fights and these types of things. So that information is what prompted our biggest, one of our biggest concerns on top of the substance use at this with minors.
Higdon says there are no crimes and there were no victims, but he says people should think twice about what they say online.
Sometimes it's easy for people to say just about whatever they want behind a keyboard, but there can be consequences for those actions as well.
Now, police did contact the 18-year-old who was organizing the party, and they say he agreed to call it off. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Hibernia is drilling for oil again 1 week after it stopped in the wake of a massive storm. Officials say the platform was designed to withstand the extreme wind and waves the offshore saw last week, but after the storm cleared, crews discovered a problem with the lifeboats, and that's when the drilling stopped. One lifeboat was damaged in the wind and 2 more were compromised because the mechanical arm which launches them was in a different position. Officials are investigating whether that arm was damaged by the storm. 90 people were sent home while the evacuation gear was repaired, but the company says there was never a risk to employees.
At all times we had more than 100% lifeboat capacity for our workforce, but we wanted to get back to 200%. So we made plans then to demobilize our workforce, and we made plans to shut in production at that point. We normally have a complement of about 260 people offshore. And so our plan and our focus right now, of course, is to continue with the repair to the lifeboat, finalize our inspection of the prod boom to confirm whether it's fit for purpose or whether we need any repairs there. As I say, early indications are that it's fine. And then we'll make plans to bring people back offshore so we can continue on with our drilling and normal operations.
Now, meanwhile, a week after Husky Energy's oil spill at the White Rose field, the company had another surveillance flight checking out the area today. And it says there are still no signs of oil on the surface of the water. Husky says 18 birds have been spotted with oil on them, and 4 of those are at the Seabird Rehabilitation Center in St. John's, and 4 other birds have died. 2 more former managers of Hickman Equipment have been sentenced in a fraud case that dates back 26 years. Former Chief Financial Officer Gary Hilliard and former sales manager John King were both sentenced to house arrest today for their roles in defrauding creditors and contributing to the company's $110 million debt. Hilliard was in charge of the company's bookkeeping and pleaded guilty to 1 count of creating a false prospectus. That's a kind of disclosure document. And King pleaded guilty to 1 count of fraud. 2 other managers at the heavy equipment company were also charged. Hubert Hunt was sentenced to 1 year house arrest for conspiring to commit fraud. The Vice President of Sales, William Parsons, is scheduled to appear in court on December the 3rd.
I don't actually think he's even seen snow before. So snow for him, the first time he's seen it, it was like a kid out playing in the snow.
Meet the newest RCMP recruit in Happy Valley Goose Bay.
We're going to introduce you to Jerry, K9 crime fighter.
Well, the Moncton Magic are here behind me and they're starting to warm up, and it's about 60 minutes until tip-off. It's the first home game here at Mile 1 for the St. John's Edge. I'm Jeremy Eaton. I'm down here live and we'll have more on that coming up.
Well, today is Black Friday, and it's now become the biggest shopping day of the year. Now, this was the lineup outside Best Buy on Stavanger Drive in St. John's this morning. Black Friday here might be more genteel than the bare-knuckle brawl for bargains in the U.S., but surveys suggest it's now bigger than Boxing Day. More Canadians plan to do their bargain hunting today than on the day after Christmas. They're planning to spend more too, as were the couple of dozen people who lined up outside Best Buy before the opening time of 6 a.m. The CBC's Ariana Kellen spoke with one of them.
My name is Amy Sullivan. I've been here since 4:50 this morning.
This is a bit of a tradition for you. Tell me about that.
Oh yeah, I always make the lineups every year to get the sales.
And you're here to buy items for your son, and he knows all about this tradition too.
Oh, he does. He gets excited and wants to be able to stay home to see what I bring him.
And it's his birthday on December 1st, so it's a doubly good day to get a sale.
Oh, it definitely is. That's why I'm here to save the money. I'll save about $130 today.
And what are you looking for?
A Chromebook, and I'm going to get a Fitbit Charge 3.
Hey everybody, getting bargains. I was actually at a mall today because we're getting ready for our Feed NL program, you know, to raise money for the food bank and help people across the province. And there were these kids there. I asked them, I said, hey, do you want to do an interview on Here and Now? And they said, yeah. So I said, okay. So I said, listen, what's the best way to get a bargain on Black Friday? And this little 10-year-old girl looked at me, she said, shoplift? Oh. I said, okay, kid, you're not getting on Here and Now. That's it, cut. No, sorry, but I was totally shocked by the answer. She was joking, of course, but I said, okay, you're not getting on the show tonight, so yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Well, for those we saw standing up in Ariana's piece, what a cold morning to be in line.
So cold today, and some really nasty weather. Not a great weekend shaping up so far. Let's have a look at our weather on the way headlines, shall we? So we are looking at lots of weather, heavy snow for coastal Labrador, particularly the Makkovik area. Could see upwards of 50 centimeters between today and tomorrow. West Coast looking at very blizzardy conditions overnight tonight, and cold and windy weather for pretty much everyone this weekend. So this is a quick look at the watches and warnings that are in place. We have blowing snow advisory along the coast of Labrador and up through to the Churchill Valley area there, and this blizzard warning in effect for the Hopedale and Makkovik area. As I said, about 50 centimeters of snow expected between today and tomorrow. And we also have this wind warning and blowing snow advisory for the coast of Labrador, the eastern portion of the Northern Peninsula, down through the northeast coast, Bonavista North there, and all along the west coast. It is a nasty evening there tonight, so if you can, just stay home, stay warm, and enjoy yourself. And I'll have more details on this a bit later, and Sunday is the Christmas parade, so I'll have those details as well coming up, Anthony.
Okay, Karen, I'll see you, hope, at the parade. That's Carolyn Stokes. Ashley's off tonight. Happy Valley Goose Bay RCMP are saying goodbye to one best friend and saying hello to another. Jerry the police dog is at the end of the leash for the local detachment now, and he's taking the place of the veteran Charlie. But as Jacob Barker found out, he's not going that far.
It was just a couple of years ago when Charlie became Happy Valley Goose Bay's first ever canine protector. The veteran German Shepherd has been busy since then.
He's done a lot. We're probably into the dozens as far as people tracked and captured and arrested using Charlie.
Now, at the age of 9, Charlie is taking a step back. Born and bred to be a police dog, life's going to be a bit different for him from here on in. At home with his crime-fighting partner, Corporal Jason Muzzerall.
It was a family decision to keep him as a pet. So he's a very calm dog, got a good demeanor, and that's just made him good for a candidate for domestication or being a house pet.
Happy to stick with his owner, but how will this career crime fighter enjoy retirement?
It's hard to say how they react because he is a dog, but every morning he sees me put on the uniform and get ready for work. He's at the front door. He wants to get out in the truck. Unfortunately, he stays home. Yeah. So.
And who takes over the dog duties now? Enter rookie pooch Jerry, Muzzerall's second best friend.
Big paws to fill, yeah.
The 2.5-year-old is just a few weeks in. He's very new to the force and new to Labrador.
He was brought up in Vancouver Island, so I don't actually think he's even seen snow before.
Jerry is young and playful, like Charlie, born and bred for this.
He's fourth generation police dog. His parents and the parents before him and the parents before that were all RCMP police dogs. And he's a product of our breeding program.
Corporal Muzzerall spent thousands of hours training with Charlie. With Jerry, he's got to start all over again.
It's a huge shift for me because you're working with an old veteran and then you got a young dog that just wants to go do everything, and you kind of have to rein that in.
Muzzerall says Jerry has got what it takes, but it'll just take some work.
I think he's going to progress very quickly. There you go, good dog.
Jerry's so new he hasn't had a chance to answer a call yet, but Muzzerall hopes to get him out soon to begin getting that training and experience he needs to help fight crime in Labrador. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Beautiful animals. Well, this fellow has hiked and paddled hundreds of kilometers through the roughest conditions. Now a Newfoundland adventurer is turning to a new challenge. Justin Barber's writing a book about his journey through Newfoundland last year. Here Now's Garrett Barry met with Barber at his home in Grand Falls, Windsor, and he's not long home after another wild trip in Labrador earlier this year.
It's a little more dull in the house. You know, you don't wake up and you're not hearing the rush of the river or the crash of the waves or the wind or the birds in the morning or geese or ducks or whatever it might be. It's a little more quiet. The mental, the physical challenges that come with it, along the way, whether it be, going up a river or crossing a big lake, and how you're going to get through those. When times get tough, sometimes I get a knot in my stomach. I don't know how it's going to turn out. But when I end up, doing or getting through that challenge, it's a great feeling of excitement. And went down Menahek, then I climbed the McFadden River that leads to the border of. Yeah, I did the canoeing course, and I got into just watching documentaries and reading books on people, going across the Amazon jungle. A Norwegian who went across Canada by dog sled and canoe, and just a lot of crazy trips like that, and just kind of inspired me to want to go out and do my own. The trip was 83 days long. We went to Northwest River, which is just outside of Goose Bay, and I had planned to go roughly 1,700 kilometers across the Labrador Peninsula. One of the most difficult things is not actually going out there and doing it, but the planning process and getting everything prepared. And I mean, for this one, I was a year of long days and nights and planning every little detail from the gear I bring to the route, and and everything in between. So, but you just got to make time for it. And I know 2.5 months is long, but I just made the commitment to want to do something. And I think, if you really want to do something bad enough, you'll make it happen. It's a short life, I got a couple small projects I'm working on there. I have a book that's coming out next year. Likewise, Saku has a children's book of his own, so there's a couple small projects I'm working on. And the book is going to be on the trip we made across Newfoundland last year. And for me, to get it all out there and to have something to always remember that I can look back on, I kind of wanted to put it down on paper and really, describe how I felt at certain moments, how I thought Saku felt, to reveal more about what happened on our journey, and to kind of, show people and to describe the best I can how beautiful the Newfoundland and Labrador landscape is. When I left Northwest River, I wasn't, there was question marks on how I felt about throwing myself out there and going into the situation. But I'd like to kind of step outside and, put myself in uncomfortable positions. But I think we grow as people and become, more efficient human beings. And I think, for others to step out and do something they want to do. And, maybe by, seeing me go after a dream like this, which is something more wild than the usual, maybe they'll want to go after, something that they enjoy to do as well.
Great hockey smile there. We're going to go to basketball. One of the hottest tickets in town has returned to Mile One Center. The St. John's Edge is coming off a very successful first season, and they look to capitalize on the fan base they created last year. Big question tonight, of course, is will Carl English play? Here now, Jeremy Eaton has been hanging around Mile One and joins us live. So, Jeremy, what is the status of number 23?
So as you can see, a few of the big men there are warming up, but despite being told not to play tonight, Carl English will be in the lineup here on the floor behind me. Now, it was a little bit touch and go for a while because he didn't participate in much of the training camp, but today was a big test for him to see if he could get through practice. Now, the new look Edge are hoping to win over fans here at Mile One tonight. Now, the team only kept 3 players from last year, Des Lee, Jaron Skeet, and of course English. But there are high hopes for the team and their ability to build on last year's success of making it to the divisional finals. Now, for the thousands of fans heading down to Mile One tonight, the big question many people want to ask is can Carl play on his sore ankle?
I got about 5 people telling me no, but anyway, it's all good. I felt good at time. A lot of this stuff is in your head, and I've been dealing with this for a long time. So I just got to settle down a little bit. It's always nervous. First night, it's a big night, packed house, and giving everybody a chance to see the team. So for me, I'll be ready.
So we're about 45 minutes from tip-off here. Now, the doors opened a little bit earlier at 5:30 p.m. The Navigators are playing. It's loud as per usual here. There's face painting. There's a lot of activities here for opening night. And I'll be down here live, and we'll check back in later on in the show. Reporting live for here now, I'm Jeremy Eaton at Mile One Center in St. John's.
Unless we get a permanent solution that's going to move forward, that, again, I have to stress the town of Wabush is not in a position fiscally to maintain it,
Wabush Mayor Ron Barron says the town needs help to keep its recreation center open, and if nobody ponies up, the region's only swimming pool is going to close.
Welcome back once again. And we just hear while we're in commercials that there's a lot of snow outside.
Yeah, apparently I don't know, when last time I looked outside it wasn't really snowing, but apparently right now it's starting to come down and there's a risk of some snow squalls out tonight. Yeah, it is about 2 to 4 centimeters we could see in the St. John's area tonight. So that's a live shot of the Parkway. It looks kind of pretty with all the lights there.
It does. It's certainly not, we're not getting the snow that they're getting elsewhere in the province.
Oh no, not at all, particularly in Labrador. It has been snowing along the coast today. They've seen about 15 to 25 centimeters and more to come tonight. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of snow there this evening. There is a warning in place, actually. So let's get right to it. Have a look at our future tracker for tonight. You can see all of the action right across the province tonight, except for Labrador West looking fairly quiet, but everywhere else is looking at some snow squalls, some blizzardy conditions along the west coast and up along the coast of Labrador tonight, and lots of patches of snow for the Avalon Peninsula, so some snow squalls overnight tonight as well. It's going to be cold with the wind chill as well. So we do have a blizzard warning in place for the Hopedale-Makovic area. Could see upwards of 50 centimeters of snow by the time we get to tomorrow morning, and that includes what fell today. Gusts up to 110 kilometers an hour along the coast there tonight, and we also have a blowing snow advisory for the coast up through the Churchill Valley area. Gusts up to 80 kilometers an hour there. So for the island, we're looking at a blizzard warning along the west coast, so not a great night for driving. You might want to just stay nice and toasty indoors tonight if you can. About 15 to 25 centimeters of snow expected there, with gusts up to 100 along the coast, and very windy as well on the eastern portion of the northern peninsula and through the northeast coast to Bonavista North. So lots of blowing snow there as well. Not huge amounts, but it's going to be so windy with those gusts up to 100 kilometers an hour there tonight. So a nasty night and cold. Just look at this wind chill as well, minus 17 for the Gander, Twillingate area overnight tonight. Cold as well in St. John's, getting down to about minus 15 with that wind chill. Only about 2 to 4 centimeters of snow expected in the St. John's area. Same story for the Marystown area, but it's going to be very windy. Looking at southwesterly winds gusting 40 to 60. It should be a bit windier than that actually tonight. We are looking at gusts up to 100 along the northeast coast, and for the west coast, gusts up to 80 with those snow squalls. Corner Brook looking at about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow overnight tonight. And for Labrador City, minus 30 with that wind chill tonight, so it's going to be very cold there. Not a lot of snow to worry about, not a lot of wind, but watch out for that frostbite if you're going to be outdoors for sure. 15 to 25 centimeters of snow for the Makovic area and the Nain area as well. About 5 to 10 for the Happy Valley Goose Bay area. Lots of cold temperatures overnight tonight for sure. So as we get into Saturday, things are going to stay pretty windy for most areas. Looking at some more snow for the west coast of the island. About 2 centimeters of snow for the St. John's area, but westerly winds gusting up to 80. So for the Avalon Peninsula tomorrow, going to be very windy and more risk of snow squalls there tomorrow, and cold for the northeast coast as well. Minus 17 as the wind chill for the Bonavista area. So lots of patches of snow throughout the day tomorrow. For the central areas, looking about 2 to 4 centimeters of snow there. A little bit clearer along the coast. 5 to 10 centimeters expected for the Corner Brook area, so it's going to keep on snowing tomorrow. Not too much snow expected for the Straits area, 2 to 4 centimeters, but it's going to be cold there as well. And for Western Labrador, wind chill looking at about minus 14, and it's looking at mix of sun and cloud throughout the day as well. So quick look at your Santa Claus parade. If you're in St. John's and you plan to head to the parade on Sunday, we're looking at a mostly sunny day, but there is a chance of flurries. It's going to be very windy and it's going to be chilly. So if you're heading out, you'll want to bundle up for that for sure. I'll have a few more details a bit later.
The sister towns of Labrador West are in a feud over recreation that could soon see the region's only swimming pool shut down. The Mike Adam Recreation Centre is in Wabush. About 2,000 people live there. Mayor Ron Barron says the town can't afford to keep the centre running and wants the bigger town of Labrador City to chip in. What's more, Barron accuses the town of Labrador City of reneging on a deal to keep the centre open. Mayor Ron Barron joins us now from Wabush. Hello.
Hi.
So you've managed to keep the rec centre open this long. Why now do you need to close it?
Well, you know, we had a contingent agreement in place for 2018, and that's kind of fell to the wayside. Monies that were contingent from the town of Labrador City of $115,000, they withdrew that, so we were on the hook for that. Because they pulled their funding, other stakeholders followed suit. So that left the town on the hook for over $365,000 now that we didn't budget for. So now that we have to take out of any capital works that we had planned.
I guess there's a bit of sense of deja vu here because Wabush was in this exact situation, correct me if I'm wrong, at the beginning of 2018. Labrador City agreed to help. I'm not quite clear what happened. Why didn't the money come through?
Well, we made it clear earlier this year when, you know, we talked about coming together and making it viable to keep the rec center open, that come the end of the year, we needed a plan to move forward in order to keep doing this. There was no point in us getting together every year at this time to try to come up with a plan to move forward. It just doesn't work. It's not good for the employees because this is the second time now that we had to tell them that the rec center was coming to a close. And at the last minute, we're getting a reprieve. You know, it's not fair to them. It's not fair to the community and the stakeholders, not knowing if we're going to keep it open. So unless we get a permanent solution that's going to move forward, that again, I have to stress, the town of Wabush is not in a position fiscally to maintain it. You know, we inherited this facility from the Wabush mines. They built all these facilities. It was a mining town. And, you know, thankfully we kept it going for as long as we did. But this isn't a new story. The first elected mayor was arguing with the mayor of Lab City at that time, Durham Flynn over here in Wabush and Carl Hiscock in Lab City, for the same thing that we're arguing over today. So it's nothing new, but it's come to a time now it has to be fixed or it's done.
I guess last year, if you found a way to come up with more than $300,000, that means something else had to give, right? So just to be clear, you don't want to put another $300,000 because that means what? That roads and other things, that nothing else happens?
Well, I'll give you an example. Playground equipment. You know, the only new playground equipment that came into our community the last number of years is because the development that happened here during the boom, we made that conditional that you guys got to buy stuff for the community and put it in because we couldn't afford to do it. And, you know, there's a number of things that suffer. The rec center itself has suffered because we just didn't have the money to put into the capital expenditure to bring it up to date and fix things properly. We're always reacting to issues that happen, and that doesn't work. You know,
right.
You gotta be, and this is the boat that we've been in for decades here.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've threatened to close the rec center before and it didn't happen. What would you say to somebody cynical watching Here and Now tonight who thinks maybe this is just a tactic to get Labrador West, the province, or somebody else to come up with the cash you don't have?
This is no tactic. You know, this council sat many hours here discussing this issue, and none of us are here trying to call a bluff or anything like that. It's just the reality is that the town cannot do it on its own anymore, and this is the straw that broke the camel's back, especially when they reneged on the funding. We can't go ahead next year and make a plan much like we did this year and have the same. It's not fair to anybody, and that's why unless we get a long-term solution moving forward, it's not going to work, you know.
All right. Mayor Barron, we're sort of squeezed for time right now. Thank you very much for coming on the program tonight, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, if you're a figure skating fan, Mile 1 is the place to be tomorrow for the Thank You Canada Tour. Some of the country's current and former skating greats plan to dazzle, including our own Caitlin Osman. We'll chat just ahead. Welcome back to Here and Now, everyone. It's my great pleasure now to have a chat with the reigning world figure skating champion and Olympic medalist, Caitlin Osman. Welcome home, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're here at mile one. In the background, they're practicing basketball, but of course the ice will be back on for the tour performances tomorrow. How have you been doing since last April when you were home?
I've been great. I've been a little bit busy. I did the Stars on Ice tour in the spring, and then I actually enjoyed my entire summer, spent time with my friends and family, took a break from skating, and now I'm on the Thank You Canada tour for the last 2 months, which has been completely amazing.
So you have taken a break from competitive skating. How has life changed for you since you made that big decision?
I'm not 100% sure yet. It's actually involved a lot more traveling. The Thank You Canada tour has brought me across the country, a lot less time at home, a lot less time on a focused training, getting nervous for my competitions. But I've actually gone to watch some of the competitions on my phone. It's been really enjoyable.
What has it been like to be on this tour with so many great Canadian skaters, former champs, current ones? Are you learning anything from them? What's it been like, that experience?
It's truly been very inspiring. I've been on the ice with them numerous times, but it's such a smaller group, such an intimate group, and we've created like a family amongst this tour, and seeing their faces and the way they act, the way they warm up for a show, the way they train for a show. It's a lot of things for me to look up to and to learn from.
Yeah, it's quite a different way of training for you, isn't it?
It really is.
So you haven't got a coach who's, you know, saying do this, do that. Now you can skate on your own and take inspiration, I guess, from the other skaters.
Exactly, and not being at home, I don't have the coach, but I also don't have an atmosphere that is the same every day. We're skating on smaller ice surfaces, and we're in a new city every day, so it's a completely new adventure, but it's great.
All the commentators, the figure skating commentators, would note about you, your joy when you were performing, even under the high pressure of competition. I'm just wondering now, where you don't have that intense pressure, is it more joyful for you now?
It is really joyful. Of course, so far this year I have missed the adrenaline rush that I get at competitions and those nerves and the excitement from those, but I still get a lot of that while I'm doing shows, and it still has that feeling. But it's so much more interactive with the crowd, which is what I really strive for, and it's so enjoyable for me to be able to do that.
So I was wanting to know what your plans are for the rest of this year, and your thoughts about going back to competition. Fill us in a bit, Caitlin.
I don't really have much to fill anyone else in with. It's still really up in the air about what I'm doing next year. I'm going to continue with this for a little bit longer and more shows, and just to see how I'm feeling. And once the spring hits and summer training begins, which is where I usually start up for the next year, I'll think more about it. But so far I still have more tours to do. I'm going to Switzerland in February for Art on Ice, and then I'll be back on the Stars on Ice tour in the spring.
Yeah. And you do get to head home. I understand you miss home a bit.
I do miss home.
Out west.
Yeah, here in St. John's, it feels great to be back. Every time I come home here, it feels great, but I haven't seen my family in 2 months, or my pets, so I'm very much excited to go back.
Well, it's really nice to see you here. I understand that this place is going to be packed for both performances. A lot of people looking forward to seeing you, and thank you and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's go back to mile one now, where the St. John's Edge home opener is about to begin. Fans packing the stands soon. There's a band playing, fair bit of noise, and here now is Jeremy Eaton is on the floor. So Jeremy, is this one sold out?
As far as we know, there's a few hundred tickets left. We've moved off the floor into the stands because it's a little bit loud, and that's because, I don't know if Teddy can show you there, we're going to see the back of the Navigators. Because this is opening night, the St. John's Edge invited the Navigators to play a show. They opened up the gates about half an hour early to create a little bit of a party atmosphere, and because it's the first night, they've given out some of these thunder sticks that young man here behind me to create a little bit of noise. Now the team is as we've been talking all along, along. The team is entirely different from last year with the exception of 3 players. So fans coming in here tonight it's going to take a while to get used to the names. When I was down here for practice earlier today, some of the people who were doing the color commentary for the games tonight were trying to take down the names of the athletes because we haven't seen them before. Now this is the Edge's 3rd game of the season. They played 2 games already on a road trip in Ontario. They lost the game to the London Lightning, who beat them in the playoffs last year, but they came up victorious in Windsor the other night. But this is the first home game. There's a lot of pressure on this team because of how successful they were last year, but a lot of that pressure is going to fall on the shoulders of one man, and that's Carl English, number 23. And as we were talking about earlier, he's got a bit of an ankle issue. Excuse me. He's got a bit of an ankle issue, so he sat out for the first 2 games. He didn't go on the road trip, but he said he's feeling okay. He's not 100%, but he is feeling better, and he will be in the lineup tonight. And that's a big win for all the fans who are going to come down here, which is 40-something, I'm not sure, 4,200, 4,300 expected here tonight. But keep in mind that this team was 2nd in the league for total attendance. And from all accounts, it's going to be pretty wild here. You can hear a little bit of traditional music here behind me. And I asked some of the players earlier today if they're used to this kind of music, many of them never having been to this province before. And they said it's sort of slowly growing on them. So hopefully we'll get used to a bit of this. The fans will get used to the team, and maybe the team will get used to winning. Reporting live for Here and Now, I'm Jeremy Eaton at Mile 1 Center in St. John's.
There is an alternative. The government could pick up the phone and direct them to address these issues.
The Postal Workers Union is criticizing the federal government's planned back-to-work legislation.
Welcome back to Here and Now. This fall's weather has been tough for farmers in many places, forcing them to leave crops in the ground. It's also been brutal for East Coast people who depend on the sea, especially those who do the tricky work of growing oysters. Steve Bruce reports.
I'm looking at frozen ice and wind.
Nick Coughlin's relieved to finally be out of the water and away from this, the ice-filled bays and rivers.
Tears in the suit.
That made his company's job of sinking hundreds of oyster growers' cages for the winter by diving down with them a dangerous and daunting task.
We're banged up, and you know, we had some people get hurt and pinned in the ice and stuff like that.
Oyster growers usually have until sometime in December to sink their floating bags in cages before the ice sets in and freezes their young oysters and damages their gear. But not this year.
In a crazy fall, and then all of a sudden these cold temperatures, you know, it really took everybody off by surprise.
Robbie Moore says before he could get his 400 bags filled with about 2 million seed oysters secured at the bottom of Covehead Bay, the bay was frozen. He expects that killed at least half of them.
It's going to be hard 3 years down the road when all of a sudden your earnings are down 50%, right? You know, you've just taken a 50% pay cut.
Coughlin and his dozen workers have put in long hours to stop that from happening. He says competing growers have all been working together too to sink each other's cages and minimize damage and oyster loss.
They came together like nothing I've ever seen. They inspired me and my divers in a time when we probably normally wouldn't have had the courage to go on.
But Coughlin says he and a lot of growers are still worried about just how many cages are actually sitting correctly at the bottom.
There was cages that were frozen that couldn't be followed. We couldn't follow our technique. For every cage that goes down wrong, there's a potential of a substantial loss to the farmers.
A loss that in the shellfish industry won't be covered by any insurance. Coughlin says all oyster growers can really do at this point is wait until the spring. That's when their cages will come back up and reveal just how much Mother Nature ate into their bottom line. Steve Bruce, CBC News, Covehead Bay.
The Canadian Union of Postal Workers is criticizing the federal government's decision to table legislation forcing members back to work.
The Post has only one game when it comes to negotiations, and we've lived this again and again. It's to refuse to negotiate and then sit back and wait for legislation to bail them out. There is an alternative. The government could pick up the phone and direct them to address these issues. These issues are very well known to the parties. We've been talking about them for a year. This could be settled today.
The union says its members are fighting for pay equity and safer working conditions. They're prepared to fight the legislation in the courts and on the streets. But with the holiday season underway, Ottawa is under growing pressure to end the rotating strikes. If the legislation passes second reading tonight, senators might sit this weekend to deal with it. Federal Labor Minister Patty Hajdu is defending her government's actions as a balance between the concerns of both sides.
We've had an opportunity to take a look at it. It's dramatically different than the previous government's use of very heavy-handed legislation. We have, taken into account, for example, the opportunity for the parties to continue to work with a mediator for a period of time. At any time, should they be able to achieve a deal together, they can end the process. Having said that, we also have a step to move to arbitration to decide on those very difficult issues that they're having trouble agreeing on. And there are principles in the legislation that are very balanced, that take into account some of the concerns of the union members and also the concerns of the corporation.
Go with this package. This was the minimum package that you could have. That was the biggest issue, was the embalming and a viewing.
Upselling funerals. Next, CBC Marketplace digs into the funeral business. I was just checking out traffic on here, Debbie and Carolyn, and roads are pretty slippery in and around St. John's, I guess elsewhere as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would say pretty much right across the province tonight, and it's going to be pretty slippery everywhere. And there's actually a pretty serious accident that the RCMP sent out a note about at Veterans Memorial Highway. They sent out a note about an hour ago, and traffic is being rerouted through Mackinson's, but they're saying that the roads are very slippery, and you can see a live shot there.
Yeah.
It's getting worse even from when we looked at that shot not too long ago. So.
Yeah, significantly worse.
Yeah. Risk of snow squalls in St. John's tonight, so it's just going to be a nasty.
So take it easy if you're hitting the roads tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah. And cold. I thought I'd look at the wind chill. Oh, I just passed over it. Oh, well. The wind chill tonight is going to be very cold in Lab West in particular. I hit the button too soon. Minus 30 in Lab West for the wind chill, but other than that, it's going to be fairly clear. Where the real messy weather is going to be will be along the coast and up through the Churchill Valley area with this blizzard warning in place. So could see up to 50 centimeters of snow through to tomorrow, and blowing snow right along the coast there as well. So very messy night there, and very messy along the coast of the west coast of the island. Blizzard happening there, 15 to 25 centimeters of snow coming down. Very windy as well, blowing snow along the northeast coast and up through the northern peninsula. But pretty much everywhere tonight is going to be blustery and a bit snowy. Snow squalls right across the island. You can see tomorrow, snow going to continue on the west coast, clearing a little bit for the rest of the island. Some sunshine for Labrador west tomorrow, and a few more flurries there along the southeast coast of Labrador. Looking at -2 as the high for St. John's tomorrow, with some flurries, about 2 to 4 centimeters expected there, but it's going to be windy, westerly winds gusting up to 80. So if you're heading outdoors, it is not going to be very pleasant tomorrow. And that's pretty much the story for most of the island, but particularly Corner Brook, the west coast, going to get heavier snowfall there, looking at about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow and gusts up to 70 there. So pretty much the whole island looking at a fairly messy Saturday. For Nain, 5 centimeters of snow, so a bit more snow for that area during the day tomorrow. But Lab City looking at a mix of sun and cloud, -9 as the high, but with that wind chill, it's going to feel much colder for sure. So as we head into Saturday night, we do see a bit of clearing for the island, a few more flurries for the west coast. And as we get into Saturday morning, there's this chance of that messy mix of flurries and possibly some showers there along the coast of Labrador, but then clearing off fairly nicely as we get into Sunday and Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon. So here we are. This is when the Christmas parade is going to be happening Sunday afternoon. Sunny with a chance of some flurries for the east, and sun and cloud right across the island. Temperatures pretty cool. Chance of flurries or showers for the eastern portion of Labrador. So here's a bit of a closer look. When I say that there's a chance of some flurries, it's a pretty small chance. It's looking mostly clear. It's mostly going to be a sunny day for the Avalon Peninsula on Sunday. So here's another quick look, looking at a wind chill of -8, but it is going to be windy. So mostly sunny day with some flurries possibly, and gusts up to 70 there. So as we head into Monday, a chance of some showers and some flurries for parts of the island, and some flurries for the southeast coast of Labrador. So pretty much across the board, we could be seeing that chance of some showers or flurries on Monday afternoon. Temperatures above 0 on the island, and as well for eastern Labrador, -2 for western Labrador there. So that's your forecast, and here's a look at our viewer photo of the day. Just a beautiful shot of a sunset.
It didn't happen. That wasn't taken very recently, given all the snow we have.
No, for sure. I'll let you know where this shot was taken after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, the founders of Italian fashion house Dolce & Gabbana has apologized after 3 promotional videos sparked anger in China.
They made the apology in a video that was posted on Weibo. That's a Chinese version of Twitter.
大的传统玛格丽特披萨饼，你们是不是一手拿一根？
So here's a look at the ads. You see they feature this elegant Chinese woman struggling to eat pizza with her chopsticks there, which of course nobody would do. Yeah, and then of course, if you can't eat pizza, you could always turn to spaghetti. Now, a lot of people in social media in China saying these videos are racist.
Now, the backlash got so fierce that Dolce & Gabbana products have been removed from Chinese online retail sites. The brand also canceled its Shanghai fashion show earlier this week.
And anniversary greetings brought to you by Lane's Retirement Living. With a bowling alley, pool, cinema, and more. Everyone wants in. Lane's Retirement Living. Sorry, only for seniors.
So let's see who is celebrating this week. Happy 50th wedding anniversary yesterday to Warren and Shirley England of St. John's, now in Mount Pearl. Happy 60th anniversary to Alf and Lori Chislett of Anchor Point, who will celebrate on the 30th. Happy 59th anniversary to Mac and Elizabeth Rousel of Point Leamington, whose special day was the 19th. A special birthday now, wishing Leah Ackerman of Wareham, Bonavista Bay a very happy 101st birthday. Happy 50th anniversary to Dawn and Helen Gardner of Pooch Cove, celebrating today, and it also happens to be Dawn's birthday.
And a happy 55th anniversary to Joyce and Wilson Nicole of Rocky Harbor, who celebrated yesterday. And 65th anniversary greetings going out to Bill and Shirley Smith of Elliott's Cove, Random Island. Their anniversary was November the 18th. And happy birthday to Annie Baker of Newman's Cove, who was 92 years old on Tuesday. And a happy 91st birthday on the 18th to Grace Hancock of Forto. Congratulations also to Gerald Payne in Corner Brook, who is celebrating his 90th birthday.
Happy 94th birthday to Joseph Hancock. Yesterday he celebrated. He is from Fogo Island and is now at Brown's Arm. Happy birthday to Cecil Paddock of Grand Falls, Windsor, who was 92 years old on the 20th. A very special birthday to tell you about. Charlotte Newman celebrated her 105th birthday yesterday. She's from Musgrave Town and now lives in Melbourne, Florida. Another milestone birthday, happy birthday to Hercilia Moores of Brigus, now in Clark's Beach, who was 103 years old yesterday. Birthday greetings to Irene Loader of Summerside, who will be 92 on the 26th.
And happy 51st anniversary to Jerry and Peggy Stone of Lewins Cove, who celebrated on the 21st. And a happy 68th anniversary to Sandy and Glowina Foss. It's a 60th wedding anniversary for Frank and Marie Evans of St. John's. And happy 67th wedding anniversary to James and Loretta Hickey from Logie Bay, who will be celebrating this Sunday. And anniversary greetings as well to Robert and Dorothy Greening of Port Blandford, who are celebrating their 56th wedding anniversary today.
Congratulations once again. So before the break, a lovely picture you had for us.
Beautiful colors. Look at that.
Yes, taken in June
It kind of looks
year.
like it, doesn't it? Those fall colors. This was taken in Fox Point, which is near Hampton. So just beautiful.
Beautiful,
Nice
and look at the
magenta.
birch. So it had to be obviously in the fall with not many leaves there.
Very pretty.
Lovely.
Thank you very much, Debbie Sampson, for sending this in. And if you have a shot you'd like to put on the news, you can email it to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Okay. And thanks, Carolyn, for filling in for Ashley.
Yeah. Anytime.
Always nice to have you here.
Good to see you.
And I had the pleasure, as you could see earlier, of speaking with Caitlin Osmond. There's 2 performances tomorrow, the Thank You Canada Tour at Mile 1.
But
the night sold out quickly. I'm not sure if there might be a few tickets for the afternoon show, but wonderful skaters for those who are lucky enough to be there to watch. I'll be one of them tomorrow afternoon. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. See you next week.
Bye now.
Good night.